Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in, and thank you to Transformers Foundation for having me again this year and here today. Today I'll be talking about digital denim. My name is Jorgen from Inqova, and first of all I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here. So as I said, we'll be talking about digital denim, and I'll be laying out a practical strategy for industry change and also how we see digitalization of the denim industry, at least the potential direction for it. So very quickly about Inqova and who we are. We are a digital consultancy and an agency. Technically meaning that we solve problems and we also implement the solutions to those problems. We work specifically with denim companies around the world to create and deliver more value through branding, marketing and advertising, and also by being familiar with technology and being able to develop custom technologies. From a consultancy point of view, the way we look at problem solving is that we start from number one over here, where we start by looking at the current situation and what opportunities we see in this situation right now. We also understand the future desired state and try to envision how we want things to look like. And these are the two main things that I'll be talking about in the presentation today. More than that, further down, we also develop roadmaps for how we would like and how we should go towards achieving and getting to this future desired state. And we also work from an agency point of view with production, delivery and management of the project, and also evaluating our own performance and also the performance of how we have implemented this new future. That brings us back to then understanding where are we at that point again. So as I said, today we'll be talking about the current state of the industry and the opportunities that we see with digitization. And we'll also be talking about a potential future state of the industry that we can move towards. So this presentation should be relevant to you if you are a brand selling denim products, if you're a garment manufacturer, or if you're a fabric mill involved in making of denim garments or fabrics. So to give you an overview of what the presentation will involve is that we're focusing mainly today on digital denim laundry design, 3D rendering and animation for marketing, and also innovation in business modeling. So to start all the way at the beginning, with fabric mills and what Darren and Material Exchange has talked about today also, fabric mills has traditionally been involved in producing fabrics. As we see it, there's a lot happening in digitalization, and what Material Exchange is doing is leading a lot of this work, is also then enabling fabric mills to digitize their fabrics. So creating digital materials and also distributing those digital materials to those that are needing it. So to move to the next step to have a look at that, we're now involving brands here and also garment factories into the mix. So when we now have the physical fabrics as traditionally made, and we also now have digital fabrics made, those can be used as brands worked in 3D garment design softwares. Those software could be companies like Clo or Browseware or Optitex, to name a few examples of softwares available on the market. As brands and designers are now working in these softwares, they're able to then create garment tech packs and design the garments that they'd like to produce, and also draw directly from the material libraries to be able to use the fabrics that they eventually go to production with. This can then go to the garment factory and eventually gets to become the final product that the designers and the brand want to produce. To add one more step to this, which is particularly important to the denim industry, is that as we've seen progression in these areas, in denim and in denim design in general, we need to consider denim laundry. And now we're also looking at, traditionally at the top here, we have fabric production, the garment work, and we also have the laundry element in particular denim. If we go down to the digital tools we have here, we now need to look a little bit deeper into digital laundry design and how we can bring this up to digitalization to be able to make a complete finished product digitally. So to talk specifically about digital denim laundry design, we're now also in the current situation seeing more maturing laser and ozone and green laundry technology and equipment being available for manufacturers. There's an opportunity now for developing new wash recipes with no or fewer samples. And we also need to see more software solutions that are integrated together with the 3D design and the digital fabric tools that we've talked about. One company that is really doing great work with leading a lot of this is also Digitalisation with their laser design softwares, eMark, and how they are now also working both on the equipment and technology side, but also working on software development. And we're also looking forward to be able to see how this and other tools will be more integrated in with the complete garment making and finished product making in a complete digital way. So to expand on this and to go back here, now we've been looking at digital fabrics, and then the digital garments, and also the digital laundry. This now creates a new opportunity where we can also now add, when we have a digital 3D model, say, of the finished product, before we even then go to production, we can now look at the ability to be able to do digital market testing, or even market testing with using the 3D models that we now have available. We can now test if there's going to be sufficient demand for us to actually go to production with this with the consumers, and we can also determine whether the demand is insufficient, so that we need to go back to the drawing board to do this. So to look at one way of how we could approach this is also by using 3D rendering and animation for marketing purposes. Photos and videos are still the main source of marketing materials, and this is not meant to replace that, but more as an addition to it. And 3D just creates an opportunity for new products and developments to be presented to the market much earlier, because we now have them digitally in 3D. We need to have simplified tools that are integrated with the rest of the existing 3D design software to be able to go there. But to show you some examples also of companies that have been doing this for a long time already, is also IKEA as a good example here. They have been building 3D environments and been using their products and 3D models to be able to build out environments that can then seem appealing to their customers, and use those 3D renderings specifically in catalogs. Another company that has also been working towards this has been Carlings, and in Norway, been able to then take in consumer photos and dress up consumers in their new digital collections of garments. This is, I'm sure for many of you, an example you've heard about before, and there's also companies now like The Fabricant that are also leading a lot of the very cool and exciting work in this specific field. So being able then to use, as we see here, use the 3D models that we have available from having gone through the product development in a complete digital way, we're now able to go to the market and present these products to the market without actually having to produce a final product. And we can try to get this information in on the decision making whether or not to go to production with it. To talk a little bit more about business models, and how there's a need also for changing business models. And to give an example of that is, in the current situation, we now forecast demand to deliver very often the wrong products immediately, while sacrificing the people and planet to do so. The opportunity that we see now is also that the demand is changing, and could consumers actually be willing to wait for better products? We also see a need, especially now with the COVID-19 situation, a need for new production financing models. So to give you one example of a company that I've been following for many years that I think is doing very exciting work within this is a brand from California called Taylor Stitch. They are using a crowdfunding model to be able to then develop samples of their products and go out and shoot beautiful marketing materials of these products and nice descriptions and presentations, and publish these from their workshop on their website out here so that customers can pre-buy them for a cheaper price. And then they have a limited amount of time to do that, to be able to achieve the funding goals that they need to set for this. One of the nice things about doing this is that we're now able to get direct feedback from the market about what's the demand for these products, and get an expectation around the demand, but we're also able to pre-fund the production of these products. And so some of the takeaways that we'd like to focus on after today is that we need to change, and we don't look for solutions from the past for the future solutions. The objective of the supply chain is to meet demand, and we need to collaborate throughout the supply chain to make the best possible end product. Sharing is that collaboration. We need to work together throughout the supply chain. And change starts with strategy, and technology follows. So we don't worry too much about the buzzwords and what everyone's talking about, and we focus more on what's the problems that we have on hand, and how do we move into the future direction that we want to go in. And then the technology is already either there or will develop in the direction that we'll need it to. So if you're a solution provider, or if you're ready to start implementing the future and you want to talk more about the roadmaps and start working on the actual implementation of some of these tools, we'd love to talk to you, and would love to work together with the rest of the industry to make this happen. Thank you so much for having us here today, and we're happy to answer any questions if there are any after.